Well, we got about 12 inches of rain. No, more than that. Yeah, about 12 inches of rain in a 10 to 12 day period. Went from a complete drought to a complete flood in a short amount of time. We had to come out here and let all these strings out so these decoys wouldn't float off. Well, of course, we're trying to bring our water levels back down to normal. And so now the decoy strings from them being extra long, now that the water's coming down, some of these decoys are wanting to congregate a little bit. So I'm just trying to spread them out so they ain't got none beating and banging on each other when the wind blowing, and just looks more realistic, more professional. Just the last one. Right now we got a lot going on. Of course, we went about a month without a drop of rain, so we're doing a lot of pumping right now. I've been babysitting pumps, greasing, moving fuel, moving pumps, setting them in, just keeping an eye on them, keeping them going. We're running them 24 hours a day right now. We got a few that'll hopefully be done pumping within the next few days, and we can get those moved around to a new location. We got several guys that's brushing blinds right now. Luckily, I guess one benefit to the dry weather is they got an early start on that, and they're able to get to everything easily and quickly, and that's making it go pretty smoothly, thankfully. But I knew that wasn't gonna take long. Yellow. This is I guess you could call it a least productive water impoundment. We've got a few of them similar to this, scattered kind of off the beaten path. Well, we've gotten to where the last few years when we run into the droughts like we're in right now, we tend to hold the water in these all year to use it for a situation like this. We can drain the water, put it to our pumps, put it into our more productive areas. Well, the beavers, nutria-rats, otters, probably a combination of all of them, had came in here and stopped the water control structure up pretty heavily, and they're burrowing into the sides of these levees, which I can show you. There's holes, all throughout that's 6 foot deep, and we can't get our machine close enough to the structure to clean it because they got holes burrowed. So we just came right here beside it, nipped us out an area to let the water go on out of this field, and once the water gets out, and everything dries up, we'll come in here and just basically reconstruct this whole section of levee and clean our structure back out to the normal. So then, therefore, in the future, we can just go in and pull the boards like it's intended to do. This was an audible. Trying to make a decision if I want to bring the traco in here and clean this slip out. We got a bayou runs through the property all the way from the north end out to the south end into the diversion canal. That's where we get a lot of our water for hunting season, like we're doing now. And as you can hear the pump in the background, it's on the opposite side now. Whenever it finishes over there, I'm gonna move it around and bring it in and put it in here and start pumping on this field, which in turns it'll drain south into the next field as well. So once it gets here, it'll be at home for a while. But I want to get all this prepared to where we don't suck any leaves, limbs, nothing up. Clean all this out good. And I see that the water's gotten low enough now that I can fix this ramp up a little better and smoother. Don't want to turn one over while we put it in. We'll walk up in here and look just a little bit. Well, I guess I didn't never necessarily grow up helping maintain a hunting property like this. I grew up farming and a lot of hunting, of course, but farming was the biggest thing I ever done. My dad, my grandfather, my uncle, my cousins, pretty much everybody in my family farmed, and if I wasn't helping them farming, I was helping friends or neighbors or somebody running tractors, running equipment. You know, a lot of these diesel motors we're using a pump. It's very similar to everything I grew up around and used, and of course we use tractors every day, all day out here too. And I guess we deal with drainage on a farm, and whether that be with culverts or pipes or irrigation pipe like we use to pump with, or just drainage in the field in general from rainfall, I got, I would think some sort of sense of how it all works, and it all kind of went hand in hand with my day-to-day operations here, I guess. I grew up actually just on the east side of this property is where my family done a lot of the farming, as I was coming up, bordered up against Honeybreak all along the east side. And that's where my grandfather lived, and it's where I spent the majority of my time. And we used to farm, north of the property. And matter of fact, my grandfather farmed this property, or some of this property, before it was put into WRP many, many years ago. I remember as a kid being out here. I was not old enough to really be a part of it, just being around it really at the time. I guess it all just kind of came full circle, and I ended up here, and the little bit of knowledge I gained farming kind of rolls over and gets used here, a pretty good bit, whether it be on a track over, a dozer, or a tractor, or planting food plots, or planting rice for ducks, or planting sunflowers for doves. I don't really know. I guess my main responsibility here would just be assist in day-to-day operations, and then when it comes to this time of the year, I usually take care of all the food plots for the deer and stuff like that, which has been kind of a struggle here lately. Like I said earlier, we're about 30 days in without a single drop of rain, and we're about 30 days now from hunting season, from duck season that is, so that's why we're kind of hitting it pretty hard as far as the pump is concerned, try to get as much of a head start as possible. When it comes to the deer food plots, I've planted a little bit just to kind of scratch the itch, but can't really get too wild with it right now, because you start putting a lot of money's worth of seed in the ground, and you get just enough rain to sprout it, but not enough rain for it to survive another drought, then it's a waste. It's just a hand we've been dealt right now. It'll rain eventually, and when it does, it'll probably rain more than it needs to, but what you gonna do about it? Can't sit and leave those pumps parked under the shed hoping it's gonna rain and wait 5 days before hunting season and say, well, let's pump up everything and get ready for hunting season. It just don't work like that. We're gonna let them run until it rains enough, or till it pumps up enough. Mr. Jordan, how are you? Quick question for you. I got a Spartan camera here. It did this to me and Ben the other day, but it finally worked itself out. It's just not wanting to find network. Do you have any suggestions? Well, I grew up deer hunting with my family, at a young age. Didn't do a ton of duck hunting, occasionally, but deer hunted a bunch and sit in a deer stand 6-7 hours a day and maybe lucky to see a deer. Whenever I was finishing up in college, I started working out here part-time, brushing blinds, running equipment, just helping out. They had a pretty good flood that year, and it kind of put them behind on things as far as field work is concerned and stuff. So the deer management, not necessarily management, but the deer food plot and deer stand management role, I guess I adopted it. Now, I take care of deer cameras and feed and stands, putting them up, cleaning them, killing the wasps. Oh yeah, you gotta wait and do that in the mornings when it's cool. Get stung doing that right now. How's everybody feeling? Dangerous? Dangerous and deadly?
Guns.
Well, really and truly, I just like the duck hunt more because it's so much more interaction. You got, you always got people with you. You're not solo, and it's, you know, obviously if you're deer hunting, sometimes you're deer hunting with a client, but you know, when you're duck hunting, there's typically 3 to 4 other people, including yourself. I really enjoy the dog aspect of it, which you don't need a dog in the deer stand, so that's one reason more I like duck hunting. There's lots of different factors, I guess, that play into it. It's just so much more interactive, and I don't know. It doesn't seem as monotonous, I guess, would be the easiest way to explain. Ultimately, I am a duck hunter for sure. I'd much rather duck hunt.